learning different languages. He speaks 4 languages, so just wanted to make sure not just because it was national TV, but because that's my brother, man. I call him my hermano or brate or, just a nickname, just to remind him that that's, it's a genuine love there, man. I consider him part of my family.
He's magic. I mean, y'all guys see it each and every night. He can do pretty much anything with the basketball, so I'm just glad he's on our team making those big shots every night.
Moguće kad se ga pitalo možda ti on igraš jednog dana u istom timu, šta misliš?
To ne znam, moguće. Ja nemam baš neku želju da napušam da sviđa mi se tamo dobra organizacija. Jedino ako Luka hoće, ako se Luka naljuti na njih.
The guy never ceases to amaze me. It looks like he never rushes, plays at his own pace. But effortless 45, he made it look like, well, anyone who's ever played in this league know how ridiculously good that is. There's only so many players in the history of this game who are capable of such things, so it's an honor to be on his side.
Always fun competing against Luka when you get the opportunity to play with the greats, or play against the greats. You always want to see how you stack up, what you can do to stop them. So it's always fun.
When you're as talented as Luka Doncic is on the basketball court, earning respect from your peers comes naturally. It's widely recognized how skilled Luka is, but what sets him apart isn't just his abilities. In the NBA, every player has top-tier skills, but not everyone can make the game look as effortless as Luka does. Coupled with his competitiveness, on-court confidence, and remarkable personality, Luka stands out as one of the most respected NBA players. Let's hear what some of his fellow players have to say about him. Allen Iverson is widely regarded as one of the most transcendent talents in NBA history. Known for his ball-dominant style, AI mastered creating his own shot, whether with his killer crossover or by finishing at the rim. Much like Luka Doncic, Iverson was a clutch playoff performer who could elevate his team when it mattered most. In his 2001 MVP season, he carried a flawed Philadelphia team to the NBA Finals, cementing his legacy as a generational talent. Today, Iverson remains in awe of Luka, even naming him as the one player he'd most like to play with. He believes Luka's size and skill set would make them an unguardable backcourt duo.
One of today's players, yeah. I would want it to be Luka because he's a big point guard. Yeah. I can still play the 2. Yeah. He can guard the 2. I guard the 1. You know what I mean? And I think it'll just be deadly.
When it comes to Luka Doncic, Arenas has offered one of his most contentious opinions yet. He argues that Luka shouldn't be compared to Michael Jordan, or even James Harden. According to Arenas, Luka's lack of defensive prowess disqualifies him from being mentioned alongside Jordan, who was dominant on both ends of the floor. Arenas also questions Luka's offensive game, claiming it doesn't measure up to Harden's ball-dominant scoring style. Ultimately, Arenas believes Luka still has a long way to go before entering the conversation for all-time greatness, showing just how divided opinions on Luka Doncic can be among former NBA stars.
And then you have Luka over here who's compared to Michael Jordan, and he's James Harden. He's literally James Harden, right? A dude who scored a lot of points, don't play no defense, right? But we see what they did to James Harden, who didn't play defense. They let the world know he didn't play no defense. They let the world know he was a one-sided player. This is all he do. He's just a stat. Luka is considered the next Michael Jordan. The Michael Jordan who played defense and offense. And we have one-sided where we're like, all right, one-sided. Well, we know what that looks like. That's James Harden. Can he say he's better than James Harden at scoring? Can't even do that. You can't even argue that he's a better scorer than James Harden in that same category. But he's considered the next Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan's reputation as the greatest player of all time speaks for itself. Early in Luka Doncic's career, MJ saw something special and signed him to Jordan Brand, later releasing Luka's signature sneakers. At the time of the sponsorship announcement, Jordan praised Luka's incredible skill level for such a young player. He highlighted what sets Luka apart. Despite being slower and less athletic than many players in the league, Luka's advanced skill set and elite basketball IQ allow him to dominate both individual defenders and complex defensive schemes. As Luka's career has unfolded, MJ's words have proven to be spot on. Luka's skill and ability to read the game have only improved, making him one of the league's top players and one of the hardest to guard. It's clear Michael Jordan and Jordan Brand made a brilliant investment in a superstar whose influence continues to grow. Here's what MJ had to say about Luka. Luka is a phenomenal player, and at such a young age, he's demonstrating skill it takes many guys years to develop. It will be incredible to watch him continue to advance in the league. Luka and Nikola share a strong Balkan connection, which has blossomed into a deep friendship. Off the court, they're always joking around, but when it's game time, they compete fiercely. Their relationship is truly special, characterized by two extremely passionate basketball players who express their love for the game in different ways. Nikola and Luka are poised to be the faces of the league for years to come. After the Denver Nuggets defeated Luka's Mavericks, Nikola was asked what he enjoys most about Luka's game. Here's what Nikola replied.
When we beat him and I can make fun of him.
He followed it up with a bit more serious comment.
I mean, he's my good friend and it's always nice to play against him.
That's probably the most you are going to get out of the Joker, as he probably dislikes being around the media even more than he enjoys playing basketball. When we talk about players similar to Luka, James Harden might not be the first name that comes to mind, but they actually share quite a lot in common. Both of them don't rely much on their physical abilities. They both have a killer step-back move, and they can score from anywhere on the court. Because they're both so skilled, earning respect from others is natural. Harden has admired Luka since he was just 19, saying,
Unbelievable. I'm sure he's 19, starting as a West All-Star for his first time, and many more to come for him. So hopefully he gets better, his ankle gets better, and we'll be seeing a lot of him for a long time.
Jimmy Butler is one of the few players in the league who still brings that old-school energy to the court. Luka shares that same ferociousness in his game. The mutual respect between them is evident, as they have publicly acknowledged it. When Jimmy is in a good mood, he often delivers some of the most interesting quotes in the NBA.
Don't skip over my Slovenian guy for y'all Slovenian guy. I like ours better.
On a more serious note, Jimmy continued following the first comment by saying,
he's tough and super fun to watch. He does everything so well. He gets everybody involved. He can shoot it, get to the rim. Sneaky athletic too. If I had to watch somebody play and me pay to watch, he goes in that category.
Dame Lillard is known as one of the most genuine players in the NBA. His passion and composure under pressure on the court extend to his off-court demeanor. When discussing the dynamic duos like Luka and Kyrie or Dame and Giannis, Lillard elaborated on the energy and vibes that players of their caliber bring when they play together or face off against each other.
Obviously, when we all see each other, we know what kind of night it's going to be. Ultimately, you want your team to come out on top. But I think we've all, especially myself, Kyrie, Giannis, Luka is a little bit younger than us, but we've done it for a long time now. So it's like we understand that it's going to be different for everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's not so much about the stats. It's who can come up big in the moments that count and win the game.
He continued praising both Luka and Kyrie's scoring abilities.
Those guys are great scorers, two of the best scorers in the history of the game. They see the ball go in a couple times. At that point, there's really nothing you can do about it.
Becoming your favorite player's favorite player must be an amazing feeling. While not everyone may know about it, Luka certainly does. As a kid, Luka was a huge fan of LeBron James. Now, 2 decades later, LeBron James is a huge fan of Luka Doncic. You might wonder why.
Because I love everything about his game, love everything about him. The way he plays the game reminds me of the way I play the game. We're just triple threats, we rebound, we pass, which is the #1 thing on our mind, trying to keep our teammates engaged and keep our teammates feeling good on the floor, keeping our teammates in rhythm. And we'll put 40 on you too if you disrespect us.
Despite leaving a game against the Miami Heat early due to an injury, Luka Doncic still managed to get his respect from that night's opposing big man, Bam Adebayo. Bam kept it brief and simple.
He's special. He doesn't let anybody speed him up, and he plays at his own pace. He's one of those guys that's really unique. He's not really fast. He just does really a lot of special things, and he's a big part of why Dallas is top in the West right now.
Kyrie Irving is undoubtedly the biggest superstar Luka has teamed up with in his NBA career. When two players of their caliber join forces, it can either elevate a team to championship contention or disrupt chemistry. However, Luka and Kyrie seem to complement each other well on the court. Kyrie has publicly expressed their mutual understanding, stating,
we kind of know each other's spaces on the floor or spots on the floor. We have the utmost respect for one another, but also we don't want to give each other confidence. And it's not just me and Luka, it's the whole entire team, but a lot of visibility is going to be on us and our leadership. So we relish in that responsibility. And he's been doing it here for the last 6 years. So me coming in and just being a valuable piece for the team and alongside him to alleviate some pressure. I feel like I'm doing a great job, but at the end of the day, I still feel like we can get better. Our chemistry will continue to develop the more pressure situations we're in and tougher teams we play. But we've had our fair share of tests, and I think we can evaluate that we've done well, but we can still do better.
Luka's biggest rival is likely Devin Booker. While Luka often comes out on top against Booker and the Suns, there are instances where Booker has emerged victorious. Their matchups are always intense and have produced memorable moments and memes. However, off the court, they have mutual respect for each other, which is evident. When asked about what makes Luka difficult to guard, Booker explained,
I mean, he does everything. You know, there's no weakness offensively. You know, if he's scoring in bunches, you know, he's also getting his teammates involved at the same time. They've created a great system where, you know, when you try to put two on the ball and take away his scoring ability, he gets the other guys involved. He gets some open shots and easy looks. So, you know, it's that balance of, you know, trying to, you know, limit it all. And it's a tough job to do.
After Luka had a monster 32 points and 15 assists performance against the Bucks, in the post-game press conference, the Greek Freak was asked how did the Bucks approach Luka on defense and why was he so difficult to stop down the stretch.
I think we did a solid job to him. He's just very, very talented. He's a very good player. You know, he's going to make the right pass. He's going to make, you know, the pass to the roller, the skip pass to the corner. He's going to make good decisions. And, you know, sometimes he can do everything right and still people go have good nights. He's one of the most talented players in the league, one of the most talented players probably to ever play this game, you know. So there's going to be nights that he's going to have good nights. I'm not going to be able to, you know, contain him as much as possible. But we tried to make it as tough for him, but he played well.
After Luka had a 50-point game against Kevin Durant and the Phoenix Suns, KD was asked what made Luka so impossible to stop during that game.
I mean, he does this every game. I mean, he controls the whole game. You know, passes, rebounds, scores. We kind of expect this from him at this point, right?
There is not much you can expect to get from a star player who just lost a tough game and had a 50-point bomb dropped on him, but the respect here is evident. Over the years, Jason Tatum has evolved into one of the NBA's top players and a candidate for MVP. Playing the same position as Luka, their matchups are always exciting to watch. After Luka had a game below his usual standards, Jason Tatum explained the Celtics' defensive strategy against Doncic and the Mavericks.
Just try to make it tough for him, you know. Obviously, a hell of a player, you know, can get any shot he wants. Just got to throw fresh bodies at him, can't give him the same look the whole game and, you know, contest and then live with the result.
Jamal Murray has been Nikola Jokic's trusted partner in driving the Nuggets' offense. Over time, he has emerged as one of the top guards in the NBA and a crucial factor in Denver's achievements. Following a victory over the Dallas Mavericks, Jamal was questioned about the Nuggets' defensive strategy against Luka and the Mavs. Given that Doncic was the only Mavericks player to have a strong performance that game, it contributed to the Nuggets' relatively straightforward win.
I don't think anybody else on their team had over 10 points, but I mean, Luka's a hell of a player, man. Yeah, I mean, to see why he balls in his hand every possession. You know, he makes plays, he shoots the ball efficiently, he can hit step backs, he can draw fouls, he can get to the rim. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he's an amazing player. I don't know what else. I got you.
Among NBA players, Steph Curry is considered one of the biggest fans of Luka. Over the years, Luka and Steph have had numerous matchups, each game a thrilling spectacle. Both are fierce competitors, always striving to win, especially against players of their caliber. Steph holds genuine respect for Luka's game and admires how he has continued to improve season after season.
I mean, his size and his ball handling skills keep you on the edge the whole game just because that plus, you know, being a three-level scorer, you have to kind of worry about everything. You don't want to get his step back threes going, so you got to press up on him, but he's shifty and got a great handle, so he can use his leverage to get by you, and then obviously his court vision is unreal, so, you know, he's kind of the offensive, you know, package of being just a playmaker and a scorer, and when he's knocking down shots like he did tonight, it's tough. You kind of want to take something away from him, but he kept making play after play. He even made a couple of defensive plays on the other side, a couple, you know, steals and a strip on me. But you know, he's been playing at an extremely high level, and he's been getting better every year.
When it comes to Joel Embiid, he either respects you or doesn't at all. There is no in between. With Luka's talent and competitiveness, you could imagine which group Doncic is in.
He's been great. He's been dominating, obviously, but he's a great player, and you know, he's asserting himself. into one of the best players in the league. I'm a big fan. You know, when you got such a guy like that, you know, guy that can, you know, score the ball everywhere, you know, be a point guard and distribute the ball and make things happen. I think he's been doing great.
In a game against the Indiana Pacers, Luka made one of the craziest passes ever seen on a basketball court. Having him trapped in the corner, the Pacers thought they had done a great job for the possession, but Luka had a different plan. Let's let Pacers guard Tyrese Halliburton explain the whole story.
He threw that pass against us on the baseline when he was trapped, and he jumped and he like whipped it.
Yeah.
And it like the ball, it like banged. I wasn't playing, so I was sitting there like this. It's like, good trap, good trap. He threw it, he turned around and looked at me. That was special.
They show that clip.
I said, yo, you are special. That was crazy.
The feeling that Tyrese has when talking about this situation makes you think how much Luka can have other star NBA players in disbelief. Chris Paul is widely regarded as having one of the greatest basketball minds in history. As one of the best guards ever, he relies heavily on his basketball IQ and deep understanding of the game rather than his physical prowess. A true student of the game, Paul respects Luka's game because of its fundamental soundness, despite Luka's ability to dominate the court in various aspects.
Just confidence and the pace that he plays with. It's funny, a lot of people forget he's been a pro, you know, overseas. The game, you know, they usually say that the game slows down for you, but it's already slow for him. You know what I mean? He knows the reads, he knows everything. So.
Even though they only faced off twice, DWade quickly recognized Luka Doncic's skills. When asked about the young player, Wade expressed his admiration, saying he's a big fan of Luka.
Hell of a player, hell of a young player. It seems like he's been here before already. I think Dallas Mavericks fans and NBA sports fans around the world should be excited about, you know, what he can do for the next 20 years in this game. As a fan of the game, I love watching him play. He does things on the court that you just, you know, it wows you. So it's great. You guys got a good one. Keep him. I'm sure Mark Cuban will.
Shaquille O'Neal has changed his mind about Luka quite a bit in the past, but lately he's been a big fan of the Mavericks superstar. On Inside the NBA, Shaq talked about how great Luka is, especially at creating opportunities for his team. He looked closely at how Luka played against the Lakers and ended by saying how impressed he was with Luka's skills.
This kid has to do everything for the team to be successful. Right here, two or three guys, he can't pass it, but he just said, I'm a scorer. And great player, MVP candidate, but it's a lot of pressure on him because if he don't play well, if he don't do that, Mavericks go nowhere.
Luka is truly something special. He's got everything: size, strength, shooting, passing, and a fierce competitive drive. Even though he plays at such a high level every night, his fellow NBA players really appreciate and admire his talent. It's a big deal to earn respect from so many big names in the league, and it shows just how great Luka is. At only 25 years old, he has a real chance to become one of the greatest players ever. Let's hope for the best for Luka Doncic and his NBA career.